In new ways.
Would that be a clickbaity headline? Bang Cleveland.
You don't mean that.
All right, good seeing everybody. Appreciate you being here. What questions do you have?
John, I know you've been taking it basically one game at a time, but now that you're getting towards that 3-game, 11-day stretch, I mean, has it felt like a blur? Has it felt like it's going by quicker than usual, or have you not noticed anything?
You know, I do think you really kind of adapt and adjust. So this is the schedule that we're on, the pace. Guys have adapted to it. They speeded up and got right into it yesterday, and today they were moving around really well. You know, they were moving fast. So you just kind of point forward. We're 49 hours away from kickoff, so it's coming. So the guys are thinking that way.
What's kind of like an example of it? You adjust the schedule, you adjust workloads, that sort of stuff?
All the above. Yeah, the schedule obviously has to change. Workloads change. I think the mental stuff is packed in more than it would be. Everything just gets packed in more. There's not as much physical. There's not as much fast moving. There's some, but most of it is just condensed.
John, I know right now you're kind of locked in on this one game, but when the schedule came out and you kind of look at this stretch, were you concerned at all? They're the premier teams in the NFL playing on this day. I mean, were you concerned about the well-being of players kind of leading up to?
Yeah, not really. I mean, I am, but I'm not, because it doesn't matter. We have to think about focusing on putting our best effort out there and playing well. That's what our guys will be thinking about, and they'll be ready to go. So we'll be ready to play. And one thing about our team is we are in really good shape. Our team is in great condition. Our team recovers very quickly, and that's documented by measurable factors. We recover quickly, so I think they'll be ready to go. I believe fully they'll be ready to go Wednesday night.
Coach, last week both Marlon and Zach Orr used the word stabilized to describe what Kyle Hamilton's impact has been since he's been moved. Just how beneficial is it to have a guy like that who can just be moved anywhere and have that kind of impact?
So beneficial. It's a great word for it. I mean, he's the premier. You know, the great players probably can do two things. They can do pretty much everything in football, or in their area, and they make everybody around them better. I really do think Kyle is growing into one of those kind of players. It's expressed itself the last 2 years, but really this year and then in the last month, it's really expressed itself because you might think in terms, well, he's a box guy, he's close to the line of scrimmage type of player, which he is, and maybe he was even viewed that way coming out in the draft, but yet he felt like he could play off. He felt like he played deep well at Notre Dame, and we always thought he could do it. But you say, okay, well, this is our best player in the back end, maybe, and certainly one of the best players in the league at safety. And our issues are deep, so let's put him back there. And he goes back there and seamlessly, makes a big difference. So that's probably a good measuring stick for a great player.
John, with such a condensed schedule, do you have to simplify the game plan, offensively, defensively, anything of that nature, just due to the time restriction you have?
Well, you're probably not putting in. You're going to have a few new things because you try to get in front of that and have those things practiced already. We're not practicing anything brand new this week. Things that might be new that we haven't done in games before, things that have been practiced before, so we try to do it that way.
John, with Lamar, you've talked about how really excellent he's been. We've seen it with tight window throws, manipulation of defenders and so forth. How would you kind of describe, I guess, the subtleties of the strides he's taken yet again in the season?
I really think he's really a young player still in the sense that 7 years now. Quarterbacks, everybody plays long. Quarterbacks play a long time now, so it's what you would expect from a diligent, talented player who works at it. So kind of in every area, you hope that a player would continue to grow, and I think he kind of grows in every area as we go. The whole tree line is getting higher, across the board, and you see it in all those things you talked about.
Potential to play the Texans again in the postseason. Does that come into the calculus of what you want to show on film against them at all, or is that not a priority?
Not a priority. We try to win the game. You know, there's plenty of things that we can come up with for the next game. That would be the next iterations of whatever we're doing. So, you know, everything we can think of that's good, we're going to try to do it.
I guess along the same lines, we've reached the point in the year where fans are asking us about all the playoff scenarios, and there's a lot of chatter about that right now. Do you have to be aware of those at all, or does it really not help you going into these games?
You have to be aware of it. I mean, I pretty much know the scenarios to a degree, the ones that matter. And I think you need to know it as a head coach going into a game regarding ties. Like, you know, what do you want to play for? If it comes to that, do we want to? How does a tie versus a loss versus a win benefit us if it would ever come to that?
John, Desmond King, obviously, since he's been your returner, has had some dynamic plays, but also ball security issues last game. What's the thinking on returner going into this game?
Right, he'll be our returner going into the game. We also have Tyler, though, you know, and you know, Des has been a secure guy his whole career and had been with us in the first few games. I really anticipate he'll do well. But obviously, it's got to be better than that. You know, he knows that. He's the first guy. He was talking to me during the game about it, so he knows that, and that's priority one. Learned that from Andy Reid way back when I was special teams coach. You know, you want to get that game breaker, but he said the first thing is always going to be a punt catcher. You know, we got to get a catcher first. You got to catch the ball. So that's priority one.
John, Saturday after the game, you mentioned how special it is this time of the year. So I know that the goal is to still go 1-0, but how special is it for you to be playing a game on Christmas Day?
Yeah, it's just as special as it was last year. You know, maybe even more so because it's twice. But it is meaningful. I mean, it's meaningful because, you know, if I'm going to talk about it in those kind of terms, in spiritual terms, it's a chance to bring glory on a glorious day. I would say, you know, an opportunity to kind of shine in that way, you know, before men. And a lot of people are going to be watching, so we want to put our best foot forward and do it the right way.
Do you guys celebrate Christmas at all as a team, like the night before or after the game? Or do you have anything planned?
We actually had a team dinner last night here, which was really neat, and our chefs were incredible what they put out there. So that was fun, and we're going to have the ability for family members from the Houston area to come over for the team snack after we do a walkthrough tomorrow night.
Coach, after the bye week, you said you all started to look ahead at these games during that time off. Have you found that to be helpful now that you're in the midst of this condensed schedule?
Absolutely, because we were able to come off a game where we were all completely 100% focused on Pittsburgh. Then the next morning, we have to have practice schedules and game plan plays ready because we're going to practice them that afternoon. So much of that was already lined up for us with our the pre-work that we did during the bye week on the Texans. So yeah, I feel good about that.
John, a pretty big concert at halftime of your game. Everything like the locker room soundproof.
Yeah, I don't know. Wasn't there a time when somebody was out like peeking outside the locker room door to Super Bowl or something like that? Is there some story on that?
Yeah. Nick Pearson.
Who was it?
Nick Pearson, the Bengals kicker, wasn't he?
Was it the Bengals kicker?
I think he got some trouble for that.
He got in trouble for it?
He came out of the locker room, yeah.
There'll be trouble. There'll be big trouble.
All right,
I like Beyonce though. I can't say I'm a huge Beyonce fan, but I think I like her. Is she from country now?
Yes.
She's a little country now?
Yeah, a little country.
Think some of those country songs will be in there?
Probably.
Oh,
In Texas, yeah.
check it out. You'll have to report to me on that.
She played the halftime when you won the Super Bowl. I mean, how could you not like her, right?
Did she?
Yeah.
It's good to know.
Some blamed her for the power outage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, really? I do remember that now. Focus.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Okay.
What's your favorite Beyonce song?
To the left.
You were
Is it a little disappointing that she's going to be performing at a halftime show that you can't watch?
Nah, cause I'm gonna go out there and watch. Go out there and watch, man. First time seeing Beyonce perform, and it's at our game. That's dope. I'm gonna go out and watch. Sorry, Harbaugh.
I guess it depends how big your lead is if you guys have one.
Nah, man, I'm not even thinking about the lead. I was just thinking about just seeing Beyonce for the first time. Not saying it like that, no disrespect. No, I know how people can take things. Pause. Next question.
Lamar, there is a lot of talk about MVP contest stuff. I know that's not your focus, but what does the MVP mean to you? Would that mean anything to you? I know so much focus is elsewhere for you and this team, but you're included in that conversation.
Man, if it do happen, it happens. That'd be dope. 3 times, but like you said it, you know, I'm not really focused on that. That's never been my goal though. Like even the first, the second one, it's never been my goal. I always want to finish with the championship, but I've been falling short. But got that accolade, but I still feel like the MVP is a team thing though, because my teammates helping me get that award. Because I always say that I'm not the one catching the passes, blocking, you know, to help me get these passes off, stuff like that. That's offensive line, tight ends, receivers, running backs, just everybody, all of us included. But I'm trying to win the championship, man. That's my biggest goal. That's been my goal ever since a little kid. But an MVP in the National Football League, that's dope.
Do you ever get a chance to get caught up in everyone's talking about you, Josh Allen, going back. Do you hear that? I know you try to kind of insulate yourself.
I got no trust but to hear it. Don't mean to cut you off, but like they tag me in it. Like, like you don't gotta tag me. You can talk about all you want, but you want to tag me to get like clickbait, because you know sometimes I'm gonna say something back like that was stupid, you know. But it is what it is, man. I don't care. I really don't care about the talk. Come on, I'm trying to learn.
Lamar, in a similar vein, you have hit a lot of career milestones this season. What are some of the biggest strides you feel like you've made this year as a player?
I don't know. I really don't get caught up in it during the season. You know, I probably try to piggyback around the end of the season, you know, all season, to see like what I did better than I did the previous years, because I critique myself then the most.
As a follow-up, earlier this year with Marlon Humphrey, you called him out on his live for not coming down with the interceptions. I think he's been almost perfect since then. So what have you seen from him just bouncing back from injury last year?
Him just being a dog. You know, when I first entered the league, Marlo had a different jersey number, I think. He didn't have 44. He had 29. And not saying it's a jersey number or anything like that, but going back to 2019 when my first season started, he had the Marlo punch going on. He was just a different type of defensive player, you know, and he was younger then, and now he's a vet, and I'm a vet as well, and I'm just seeing like how we just growing and getting old, and it's like there's no time to play. You know, that's just how I took everything, like how I was just looking at everything, and for our record to start off 0-2, I was just ticked off, and we just won. It was 1-2 at the time, and it was like so much going on. It's like I'm not trying to see no cameras. Like it's go time. We need to tighten up. That's what we did, and Marlo's been doing a tremendous job. Not saying it was me. That was just him, you know, him doing what I've been knew he was capable of doing. He's just catching the interceptions now. That's all.
You've known all along that this, you know, three games in 11 days stretch was coming up.
Yeah.
How have you adjusted your physical maintenance routine to
trying to sleep? Just trying to sleep. Like anytime I can get some rest, I rest. You know, just resting my body, just so I can go back out there and compete. That's what it comes down to. Just getting your body right, and you should be good.
Do you find that you have to be smarter about that now than you did, when you were 21?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. You start getting a little wear and tear when you're getting older. You know, not saying I'm having that, because I'm good, but it started happening. You know, you start being like a little fatigued. You might be sore in areas like, I was sore here, like my eye sore, like after games, and especially a quick turnaround game, like that's different.
Lamar, I don't want to jinx anything, but at this point,
don't jinx it. Don't say it. Don't say it. You don't want to jinx it. Don't say it.
You don't know what I say.
I don't know what you're gonna say, but you say you're gonna want to jinx it, so don't say it. Go ahead.
No, I'm scared. What do you make of just how healthy this team is? I mean, Mark Andrews at this point last year was still coming back. Marlon was still coming back. I know you were going through some minor stuff, but to look around and have so many important guys, reserves contributing to you, what does it mean to this team, and how remarkable is it?
Man, it's like it finally. I don't want to jinx it either. Like it's finally happening. Things starting to connect at the right time for us. Like you said, guys just being injury free at the end of the season. That's great for us entering. We just clinched the playoff this a couple days ago. That's good. We just got to stay healthy, man, and keep doing what we're doing.
Injuries aside, do you kind of buy into the notion of getting hot at the right time and playing your best football late in the season?
No. I feel like that went out the window last year, because we got hot last year and we went on a win streak and then we lost in the AFC Championship. So that went out the window after that. But for me,
a lot of talk about after this last game about winning at the line of scrimmage. I think you credited the offensive line for how well they played in this last game. With another game against Houston coming up, and they got a lot of good guys along the front. In what ways do you think your offensive line has really adjusted from that week 1, week 2, where they were kind of struggling, especially in pass protection?
They just doing their job. That's just how I see it. You know, those guys are doing their job. They took heed at what people were saying because they're grown men. They're getting paid to play as well. And people talking, there's a lot of noise. They saying whatever they saying. Like these guys not grown men and they compete for their jobs and stuff like that. They just dialed in, got locked in, practiced harder, just focused on assignment and just went to moving people off the ball. And that's why I feel like they haven't had much success.
Lamar, you talked about how, you know, the game has slowed down for you kind of every year, I guess, in that case. How is that, or why has that been the case? And secondly, when you go from year to year, do you try to improve incrementally on everything? Or is there an area of focus that you specifically look at?
I feel like I'm improving because each year, like I said earlier with one of those type of questions, like I'm critiquing myself. So I'm seeing what teams doing to me, and I'm seeing all the type of defenses they're trying to throw at me, and I'm just studying those. And after that, it's like, all right. So when I'm even going into games, I'm getting a feel for what they're doing to me, you know, and that's just making my job a lot easier.
Is that just come with age and time and experience, or is that a different approach, like to the film?
Yeah, that's definitely just age. Cause early on in my career, I wasn't critiquing myself like that. I'll probably go see what I did because I just got in the league. Like I just did this in the league, you know. But now it's just totally different. Totally different.
Lamar, I know that the goal each week is to go 1-0, but you're playing on Christmas for the second straight year, man. Does it mean anything special to be playing on that day at all?
I mean, it is. You know, it is. I mean, we're good. But at the same time, I do want to celebrate at home sometimes with my family now. But don't get it. All the time. I don't want to be playing on Christmas all the time. Not all the time. But no, it's great. All jokes aside, it's great. It's a present for everyone. You know, they get to see us play, and a lot of eyes on us. And I believe a lot of people are going to be watching us at the right time.
When will you celebrate with family? Do you have
The 26th of December.
Lamar, do you know, like, I mean, I think there's several different scenarios for you guys to win the AFC North. Do you know any of it, or do you just not focus? The different scenarios for you guys to win the AFC North. You know, like if you have to win, or like Pittsburgh loses this game, you win this game. Do you worry about any of that?
We trying to win regardless. I really don't care what another team got going on. I don't. I'm trying to win. All right.
Thank you all.